Welcome to Foam to Fortune, the ultimate podcast for spray foam insulation industry. Whether you're a contractor aiming to take your business to the next level or a vendor bringing innovation to the market, this is the place where success stories are shared, insider tips are uncovered, and the industry secrets are revealed. Join us as we dive into the journeys of the spray foam pros who turn their dreams into thriving empires and discover tools and strategies to build your own path to fortune. Ready to elevate your spray foam game? Well, let's get started. Foam to Fortune, where innovation meets inspiration.
Yo, what's up, guys? I'm Spencer, your host of the Foam to Fortune podcast. And I can tell you guys are in for a treat tonight. We have Danny Walker. He is the 2024 Spray Foam Magazine of the Year the Spray Foam Magazine Contractor of the Year winner. He owns Colony Insulation, and he comes to us from Michigan. What's up, Danny?
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, man. Welcome to the Foam to Fortune podcast. It's amazing to have you. I knew I had to get you on the show once I saw you won the award. You and I hadn't actually connected previously to that, but when the Einsteinettes saw you in Daytona, and they said, "Hey, we got to meet the Contractor of the Year while we were having a drink at the bar." I knew I had to get you on. So why don't you go ahead and give us a little bit of background of who you are and how long you've been in the business?
Oh yeah. Well, I'm Danny, and I'm from Algonac, Michigan. Been in business about coming on 4 years now. I worked for a company for about 4.5 years before starting my own, and things have just been getting better and better each day.
Yeah, man. So you said you've been in the business 8 years, 4 years as a business owner. What made you make the jump from working for somebody to own in Colony?
Yeah, so I felt like I came to a point working for this company that I wanted to either get into partnership, or I needed to start taking some other opportunities seriously that were coming my way. I had several competitors reach out and asked me to come work for them, but I really liked working for the place that I was working for. But I was ready to take things to the next level. I felt like I was doing basically, what it took to run a business. But this one guy approached me, and his sprayers had quit on him, and he didn't have the urge to go and spray himself. So he was left with this payment, asked me to come in and take over the loan, and that was like the golden opportunity I couldn't pass up. So I asked for partnership at the place I was working for. They said they weren't ready for that, so I left and took over that rig.
Wow, man, that's ballsy, dude. Like, I know that had to probably bring a lot of anxiety, but I'm sure, as you found out, when there's pressure, you have only one opportunity there, which is to make sure you succeed.
Yeah, I did have a lot of pressure. I had my second kid right around the same time, and that, just having a baby alone is a lot of pressure. But shortly after she was born, she had a few seizures and ended up. We found out she had some kind of genetic abnormality, and
Oh, no.
kind of related to like muscular dystrophy. So with her having that condition and realizing all of these upcoming medical expenses, and working for somebody didn't make sense.
Yeah.
So I kind of played the tape through. This opportunity came to me, and I felt like I had a vision to make it work.
Mhm.
And I was diehard on it, it was, I was laser focused to make it work. I didn't see any other option. And, that's just kind of how I do things now. It's just like I play the tape through, make sure I can see myself achieving whatever the goal is. And yeah, I don't know where I'm going, but
No, but would you say that you're a risk taker normally, or was this totally outside your comfort zone?
I would say I'm normally a risk taker, but this was probably the first real calculated risk that I took. Because yeah, I started taking my life more seriously when I started working for that company. So this that idea compounded over time. I was just I was ready to take everything serious and jump in head
Yep.
first.
I've heard this story before where children change you and make you want to grow up quicker, as well as just having, it's almost like the shark that gets a little taste of blood and you're like, okay, this is it, man. Like I'm all in. And this has personally happened in my life as well, to where when my wife got sick with after COVID, that gave me tons and tons and tons of motivation. I had to replace a 6-figure income of hers, and then plus some. And so, I think that's where champions are made, is when things get tough. You step up and you conquer. I got to know before we move on to anything else is how's your daughter's health these days? Is she still living with disabilities, or?
Yeah, she's pretty immobile, but she's got a chair. She's got uh, she's she, she's pretty involved with a lot of stuff. We got a great church family.
Yeah.
She, they love on her so hard. It's amazing. Uh, what else? She goes to school. She's 3 years old now.
Okay.
And she goes to the elementary school that I went to, actually. But she goes for like 3 or 4 hours a day. It's a special education program for other kids with disabilities in the area. And
Hmm.
so she's got her own little friends group at the school. So she's thriving. She's definitely thriving.
That's cool, man.
She's limited by her body, but she's happy as can be.
That's amazing. I could never imagine the struggles that you've had over the course of the last 3 years to have a disabled child, um, especially after being a parent to children that don't have disabilities. It's I'm sure it's different, the different way that you parent, the different way that you love. A lot of things have changed, man. So I applaud you to just keep killing it. It sounds to me that your daughter is what brings you a lot of motivation to make sure that things work out with this company. Is that true?
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's part of it. Yeah, I mean, I got 3 kids, and the kids are definitely part of it. Family is part of it, but I'm looking out for all of the families of the guys that work for me too. You know,
Yeah.
I'm I'm always thinking about how to provide for them. And it's kind of been a little bit of a conflict with me here in my home. Trying to balance the work life and the home life. Um, being having those conversations where, is work your baby or your kids your baby, between me and my wife and stuff. And it's like, well, of course my kids are my baby, but my guys have babies too, and I gotta be there to provide for them as well. That's kind of how I look at it.
Yeah, it's most definitely they talk about the work-life balance, but really, do any of us really know what that really truly means? Because um it's kind of like what came first, the chicken or the egg. If you don't take care of your guys that are taking care of you, you're not going to have the guys that are now helping you provide for your family. So it's kind of like you need both, right? To keep that
Yeah.
perfect ecosystem. You need to be taking care of your family. You need to be taking care of your work family, your guys, so that they can provide for their family. there's a lot of pressure and responsibility there for sure. We have 40 team members now with my business, and I take things personal like that because it's not just, it's not just providing for that one person. That one person is providing for, their whole family and sometimes multiple generations, depending on the situation. So I applaud that, man. Like that's got to be a lot of pressure, but on the flip side, there's a lot of reward that comes with it. I'm guessing because you wouldn't continue to keep doing it.
No, I love it. I love it. I've never been able to give back like this, and I feel like I take care of my guys. I would hope they say the same.
This episode is sponsored by Spray Foam Genius Marketing. Are you a spray foam contractor looking to get more leads and boost your presence on Google? We've got you covered. At Spray Foam Genius Marketing, we help business owners like you take their company to the next level with targeted leads, high converting websites, SEO optimization, Google My Business Management. If you're in the US, call us at 877-840-FOAM. Or if you're in Canada, call 844741-FOAM. Or you can just email us at info@sprayfoamgeniusmarketing.com. Spray Foam Genius Marketing, turning clicks into customers.
Tell me, I mean, I was looking at a map, doing a little research on colony insulation. You guys are not in the most ideal area. You're on the other side of, is it Lake Michigan?
Lake St. Clair.
Lake St. Clair, which is essentially if you're able to drive across the lake from Detroit and a little bit north, you would hit where you live. Is that correct?
Yeah, I mean, we're pretty much directly across that lake from Detroit. I live in town, California.
And then Canada, right? Like Canada is what, maybe 20 minutes away from you?
No, I look at Canada every day. It's right across the river from us.
Okay, so 5 minutes away?
I mean, we have a ferry in town that'll take you across. So, I mean, it's however long it takes you to cross on a boat. But
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah,
So,
it's probably, less than a mile away. The Canada border.
So the reason I bring this up, Danny, is because you guys don't live in like, a heavily populated city. Yes, Detroit's there, but I want you to tell the listeners how you guys typically get a lot of your jobs.
Yeah. So, I mean, Algonac is pretty much centrally located between Port Huron and Detroit. It's roughly 30-45 minutes in either direction.
Mm-hmm.
And the town I live in is pretty rural. So, I mean, there's pole barns and new builds that go up, but I can't wait around and wait for that type of work. People, like I said, we're in a rural area, so a lot of the work that I come from is Facebook groups. I get on Facebook and I post on these pages and just try to have a presence on these pages until people remember me. I just want to be remembered. I'm not trying to always sell. I just try to engage with people and just make content. Doesn't necessarily have to be shareable content. It's just people are constantly scrolling. I mean, you pick up your phone, you go on Facebook, you start scrolling, and your algorithm's pulling up crazy stuff. You never know. So I'm in all of these groups, and I'm always posting. And so people now know me as the spray foam guy. They don't know if I'm in, Oakland County, Wayne County, or, any of the counties around me. They just know that I'm constantly posting about spray foam or insulation.
What is this spray foam stuff about? And when I think about insulation, there's this guy, he's always posting, not even really sure what his name is, but next time he posts, I'm going to reach out to him.
Oh my God. Yeah. It really works. Cause when sometimes when I pull up Facebook, I open up my notifications and it's just flooded with all these tags from people that I don't even know on these community pages that are referring me for a guy who's asking about who knows a guy that does spray foam.
Mm-hmm.
And, I'm one of the most referred people in any Facebook group that I'm in when it comes to questions about spray foam.
That's absolutely amazing. So is it true to say essentially for the last 4 years, that's been your only form of marketing, and that's where the majority of your jobs come from, besides the referral builders?
Yeah. I mean, we get a lot of repeat business from builders and referrals from the builders, but exclusively all of my marketing has been posting on these groups. I don't spend money on marketing. The only thing I've done is I've got a banner made to put on the outside of our building, and I got our trailer wrapped. One of the trailers wrapped,
Yeah.
and I drive that thing all over the place. So I just try to
Do
get
people,
people to see
you
me.
ever get phone calls where people will say, "Hey, I saw your trailer. I wanted to call."
Yeah.
Did
All the
love
time.
that. Love that. So I bring these things up because people think there's a lot of contractors out there that think Facebook is dead. And like, why would I do that? What a waste of time. And you guys, Danny is telling you like how he's built his business. Obviously you have to, stay consistent with the posting and like Danny said, he's not selling. A lot of times maybe it's just a picture of you guys spraying and the foam expanding, right? I follow a lot of accounts on TikTok and Instagram where it's literally just guys spraying because people are intrigued by watching foam expand.
Big time.
Yeah.
We're in Michigan. We don't do any open cell, but I got to try it out a few times at some of those events, and
Mhm.
that open cell is wild, man. That shit, it blows up at you.
It's like, did I do enough? Oh no, I did too much.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's crazy. So we were kind of chatting before the show about this really fun project that you guys did last year. Why don't you tell the listeners and viewers about this project?
Yes. It's a pretty fun one. There's this place nearby they're building a indoor aquarium called Legacy Aquarium. Across the street, the guy who owns this building owns another building called the Reptarium, and he's built this. His name's Brian Barczyk. He's built this really big following on YouTube. He's kind of like a Steve Irwin type.
Rocky.
Yeah. He's fun. But he's filming this YouTube channel, I think, to help get funding for the building. He also had a unique story where he was going through pancreatic cancer, and so a lot. The story's kind of sad because a lot of this filming turned out to be kind of like a goodbye montage for him.
So he's passed on since then.
Yeah, he's passed on, and the building's not complete yet.
Oh no.
And it seems kind of like construction's been at a halt because I still don't think it's open. But at any rate, when we started spraying this building, it's fun. I'm in there, I'm spraying, I'm trying to make it look nice and flat, and Brian comes by and he's like, "Oh yeah, looks good, but can you make it look real lumpy and textured, kind of like a rock cliff face?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I guess so. It's gonna cost a lot more because I didn't account for all that foam."
Yeah.
But before you know it, we're spraying stalactites, and the foam's looking like the face of the moon. It was wild. Um, but the intention was that it looked like, like an aquarium rock that you might see in a fish tank or something, but across the entire ceiling.
Really cool. How big a project was this?
This was about 13 and a half thousand square foot. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Right?
A lot of foam.
Yeah, it was a lot. We did about sets, like, I don't know how much we did. But we did 3 inches with all this different texture to it. then we had to coat it with an intumescent because it was going to remain exposed, then top coat it with a latex to protect it from the high humidity environment.
Mhm. Well, so it's like you essentially sprayed three times, 3 layers.
Yeah. And we did it in 6 days, 7 days,
Wow.
7 days.
And that, I think you told me that was something like 80 sets.
I think it might have been less. It was probably less.
Okay.
No, it must have been less. But it was a lot of foam. We did no, it couldn't have been 80 sets.
That might have been a different
But
project.
yeah. But it was a ton of foam. I had to run out to Ohio to Paratus on day 4 and buy another rig. I was in the process of buying another rig, but I ended up sealing the deal and picking it up from Paratus at like 2 in the morning. They met me there and gave me the keys, and I drove back to get back on site by 8 o'clock and start spraying with 2 rigs for the first time. But yeah, on that job, Robbie, my assistant, my partner in crime, he ended up cross-threading the gun to the manifold. And this guy, Brian, because of his YouTube channel, he had been filming this whole process of the build out. And when Robbie cross-threaded that gun and turned on the fluid, it started spraying all over the place. And I seen the cameras run by. And they're filming all this foam go all over the place. I jump on the gun and turn off the fluid, and they start doing a little interview with us, trying to figure out what happened with the gun. And ended up making me look kind of like a chump on their YouTube channel, but
Not cool, man. Not cool, because accidents happen, and obviously they don't really understand, probably how common that is. That's something that happens, I'm sure it's happened to probably every spray foam contractor out there. And so they made it look like you guys didn't know what the heck you're doing. That's too bad.
it was funny though. It was definitely funny.
Seems
No,
like
I mean it was good content.
Yes, yeah, good content for them. Could have made you look a little bit better, it sounds like.
It's all right.
So I know everybody is wondering about this award that you got. Spray Foam Magazine Contractor of the Year. What an absolute honor, dude. I like this has to be life-changing for you. Tell us a little bit about how that process works, because I know there's probably some other contractors that are out there that are kind of curious of like how does one win the Spray Foam Magazine Contractor of the Year award?
Yeah, I mean, you got to follow Spray Foam Magazine for one, because they put out a post asking for Contractor of the Year. It's kind of like a self-submittal type thing where you fill out this questionnaire, and if you make the cut, you end up getting a phone call for an interview. So they called me. They did a little interview, said, they wanted to learn a little bit more about my story. A few weeks later, they called me again, said that I'm into the next round of vetting, and they did that maybe two or three more times. Told me I was in top 4, top 2, and I'm like freaking out.
Heck yeah.
And it turned out I got on the plane to Daytona because they were going to do the reveal party on February 10th. I got on the plane February 7th, and they're like, put your phone in airplane mode. And the plane's taking off, and I see on my phone right before I hit airplane mode, Spray Foam Magazine tagged me in a post. And it turned out the magazines had got released early, so they were forced to do like an early reveal.
Yeah.
And that's what that post was. And so when I
as
landed,
as you're flying to Daytona, you knew?
yeah, it's like right as I took off, I found out. And when I landed, my phone exploded. Everybody's saying congratulations, and it was pretty surreal.
That's amazing, man. So not only were you featured on the front of the magazine, you get the cover, but that they send out some professional photographer, I'm sure, and you get hair and makeup and everything, right? And so you got that, but then there's some things that came along with it. Tell us about what else what else happens when you're the contractor of the year.
This episode is sponsored by Spray Foam Genius Marketing. Are you a spray foam contractor looking to get more leads and boost your presence on Google? We've got you covered. At Spray Foam Genius Marketing, we help business owners like you take their company to the next level with targeted leads, high-converting websites, SEO optimization, Google My Business Management. If you're in the US, call us at 877-840-FOAM. Or if you're in Canada, call 844741-FOAM. Or you can just email us at info@sprayfoamgeniusmarketing.com. Spray Foam Genius Marketing, turning clicks into customers.
Yeah. So, I mean, that rig came pretty decked out with anything that you could think of. Essentially, I could have rolled up to a job with it the way that it came to me, just thrown a set of foam in it and had everything I need to spray the job. It had scrapers, masks, extension cords, maintenance stuff, like everything that you would need probably for the first couple months of spraying.
Yeah.
It was amazing. Aside from that, all the sponsors sent different gifts to go along with the rig. Like I got an Allegro fresh air pump. Tennessee Chill Box gave me this. Here, it's right here. This awesome iMac. What's it called?
iPad.
iPod. Yeah, with the pencil.
Yeah.
I'm not used to this stuff.
The
This is
pencil
cool.
that actually has Danny's name on it. I saw a post today.
I love it, dude.
Like his own personal pencil. Tell us how you're using the iPad in your job, how that's helping you guys, do better work.
The iPad is super cool. I'm learning how to use this Apple software. I'm not used to that, but they do have an app on that's like preloaded on the iPad
Mhm.
where you can upload a document and annotate on it. So instead of trying to pull up the screen on my laptop where I can't draw on it, and make notes in a notebook, I can literally draw on my screen and everything's stored right there on my screen, and I can read my blueprints so much easier.
Yeah, so that's one of the ways that your business has been improved. You got the advance in technology. You got the brand new rig, which adds. This is the third rig for your guys' company, which you're telling me that puts you in another situation where like now I need to get this thing working for me every day.
Yeah. So this is technically, we'll call it the fifth rig. It's a third foam rig. We also have a cellulose rig and a mold remediation rig. But yeah, I mean, right now we're kind of just interchanging the rigs. We're a 4-man crew with myself, and it's I feel like I got to be on all the jobs. So when it comes to foam, so it's hard for me to send guys out to do foam work if I'm not there.
I
Can
gotta
they
know.
do it? I'm sure they can, but
I gotta know. Were you the first one to break in the new rig? The first foam that was sprayed, was that you?
so I sprayed. I wetted it out with Brad. Brad Woolworth from Pro Foam. He came up and helped me wet it in, but that's to this day still that's the only time I've sprayed out of that rig.
Oh
Like,
no!
and it's not
your
that
guy-
it's not working. The guys have sprayed all the foam out of that rig. It's probably done a handful of sets already, but I'm trying to delegate more and not spray because I'm a super micromanager, and if I don't let them spray, then they're never going to grow, and I'm never going to grow.
Yeah.
It's kind of where I'm at now. Is like I'm kind of stuck. I feel like I'm kind of stuck because I got comfortable managing two guys, and I threw third guy in, and I'm kind of getting comfortable with that right now.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I'm not going to be able to work more than 1 or 2 rigs a day if I don't do something different.
Yeah, I remember Dan Benedict, episode number 1 of the Foam to Fortune podcast. He was talking about one of the biggest mistakes that he made was not allowing his crew to make mistakes. And now he's kind of have these people that are afraid of making the mistakes. And so now he's trying to go backwards, which is a little bit more difficult. So you're absolutely right, Danny. You have to allow these guys to fall on their face a little bit, but also not fall on their face too bad that it screws up too much stuff, if that makes sense.
That makes perfect sense.
It's a very fine line, right? I always joke with my team and say, hey, I don't care if you screw up, just don't screw up too bad that it costs me a lot of money. Right?
Yeah. No, I'm lucky to have the guys that I have. They all seem to care as much as I do about doing a good job. So I'm super blessed to have them.
Yeah, that's amazing. How's the Tennessee Airbox been? Have you had an opportunity to suit up with that?
I haven't. I put it together, put the wheels on it, but it's sitting at the shop right now. I can't wait to put it to use. But yeah, I don't know what we're doing. We're still working on getting used to fresh air machines. We've been on the cartridge mass for a little while, and it's hard to break old habits.
Well,
You guys just
and also, isn't it one of the main factors is that it blows cold air? And I'm guessing in Michigan, you guys probably still have snow on the ground there, right?
no more snow, but it is, only getting 50, 60 degrees at best.
Yeah, so probably not a need to have cold air pumping in your mask yet.
Right. But you can run this machine without the air
chill.
conditioning feature on.
Got it.
So there's really no reason why we're not running fresh air all the time.
Mhm.
So we're going to make that change.
Yeah. What other is there any other cool things that we missed about like what the I guess the package was for winning Contractor of the Year? We got the rig, the iPad, the chill box.
There's a lot. I'm gonna miss some things. I got some barrel blankets from Pro Foam as well. We got a flare camera from Honeywell.
Rig didn't come with it, or in addition to the blankets on the rig.
I think the blankets were a sponsored gift.
Nice.
Separate from the rig. I got a flare camera from Honeywell.
Oh, I remember seeing that.
That thing was awesome. I was using a different type of phone mounted thermal imaging camera, and this it's super nice. I don't know, I really like those things. You can see wet spots in the wall, which comes in handy when we're doing our water damage mold remediation work.
Also, you can check the temperature of the foam, correct? By just pointing it.
Yeah, well, I mean, more or less, I'm using it to detect cold spots where insulation is missing in existing walls.
Okay. So pre-job versus while you're already on the job.
Yeah.
Probably helping you sell some jobs, I'm guessing, as well. Like if you're able to show a homeowner, hey, you guys have an area here within this wall that's totally not insulated. Well, how do you know that? Well, because I can tell by the temperature. Is that true?
It does help some jobs. Some other jobs, it just freaks people out because they're like looking at like, oh, what do I do? Now I got to rip my cabinets down to get in there. So it kind of deters them from moving forward with some aspects of the job, but in other areas, it's a great help. I got a scope too, like a scope that you can put into the wall with a little camera and a light.
Okay.
To see insulation and voids, and we're planning to getting to some drill and fill retro work with cellulose.
Okay.
I've been getting a lot of calls for that, so using that scope for
Yeah, that'll help
those
you.
jobs. Yeah, it's going to be good.
You'll be
All
able
these
to
little
look
tools are
inside
great.
there and check to see if there is anything that's settled. I guess maybe some of the older insulation that settled down or fell off.
Yeah, or if there's any type of insulation or obstruction in the wall at all. Yeah.
Amazing. What else are we missing, man? I mean, this is a huge package, but I mean, it sounds like
Huge
absolutely
thing.
amazing. I think that's it.
Yeah, no, I can't. I'm drawing a blank. It's a lot. They really hooked me up.
Yeah, yeah, they did, man. I mean, just the rig itself would have been a hookup, minus all these other little goodies.
Dude, just a Tennessee chill box alone would have been amazing, you know?
Yeah.
It's it's amazing.
How did you get the rig back home from? Because did they give it to you in Daytona?
Nope, they came and dropped it off to me.
Oh, what? I know Spray Foam Worldwide, when you win, like pull the ticket at the events, it seems to me like you're kind of on your own to get it back home. So that's pretty cool that they're like, hey, where are we delivering this thing?
I had a driver ready to go too. I mean, they really took it to the next level and took care of me 100%. I didn't have to move a muscle.
Wow. Share with us and the listeners, like, what is this going to do for your business? What do you think the impact is on the generations? Like, how is this going to impact colony insulation for like the future? Everything, not just the rig, but like everything. And like you winning the Contractor of the Year, so you can use that for marketing purposes and also set yourself, apart from, these average Joes that are out there that are trying to take jobs from you guys. Like, let's kind of go deep dive into this.
This episode is sponsored by Spray Foam Genius Marketing. Are you a spray foam contractor looking to get more leads and boost your presence on Google? We've got you covered. At Spray Foam Genius Marketing, we help business owners like you take their company to the next level with targeted leads, high converting websites, SEO optimization, Google My Business Management. If you're in the US, call us at 877-840-FOAM. Or if you're in Canada, call 844741-FOAM. Or you can just email us at info@sprayfoamgeniusmarketing.com. Spray Foam Genius Marketing, turning clicks into customers.
Yeah, I mean, if I don't start making different choices now and changing the way that I'm doing things, I feel like I don't know how it's going to do any good. I have to make some different choices now to grow, to put that equipment to use, and to really, I feel like I owe it to Spray Foam Magazine to really put that thing to the best use possible and kind of document the journey along the way too. But
Do
yeah,
you think this, I mean, I'm not quite sure what you believe in. I did hear you mention church, so sounds like you're a godly man. Do you think like this, obviously it's a blessing, but on the flip side of things, why Danny? Why do you think the universe, why do you think God or the Lord blessed Danny?
to pay it forward. It's got to be to pay it forward. God has put different individuals in my life to help me, to help me along the way and get me through, different adversities and, help me with certain growth. I feel like it's my duty to kind of help others along the way with my story. Just kind of, I don't know. I'm losing my train of thought here.
No, but it sounds to me like I'm a big believer of like the karma bank, right? So like or what, however you want to present it, but essentially like you're talking about paying it forward. There's a reason. And now, like you're saying, you'd absolutely be letting down Spray Foam Magazine, but really, let's put Spray Foam Magazine aside. You'd be letting down everybody that supported you over the course of the last 4 years with Colony. You have your children that are and wife that are looking up to you to take care of them, as well as your crew's family and such. So this is life changing. This gift that you've been given. And like you said, now it's time to take advantage. Like that rig can do an additional $1 million for you, at least.
Easily. Got to get the right guys for it. Yeah. But I mean, it definitely can.
Yeah. Do you guys struggle with employees in your guys' market with finding good quality workers?
Yeah, I would say so, because we're in a rural area, and it's it's hard to get guys to travel an hour into work when we're going to be driving 2 hours away for the job, and maybe passing their house. So, on the way. So it's hard to find good work locally. So you got to kind of start reaching for the guys that are further out. And when the shop's so far away, it's easy for those guys to be late, or, a lot of things happen. It's hard to manage people.
Yeah.
I never had any experience being a business owner or managing any type of people. I've never had a managerial position anywhere I worked. I was always just like an operator, or some kind of laborer. And so trying to manage people now has been a real challenge.
Is that the biggest challenge you think in your business, is managing the people?
Yeah. Mostly because I feel like it's hard for me to separate friendship and work life with my employees, because I get so close to them.
Yeah. It's like, hey, this isn't personal, man. This is business. This is me speaking to you as your boss, not as your buddy. It's very difficult, right?
Yeah, but there's a mutual respect that we have. We're all on the same page.
Yeah, for sure, man. Well, it sounds to me that you winning this, the Contractor of the Year award couldn't have happened to a better person, Danny. So I applaud you. I mean, obviously you built a great company in a very short period of 4 years, or you wouldn't be in this position to where Spray Foam Magazine has chosen you. So now it's time to step up and show them that they made the best decision, and absolutely crush it. So I'm curious. This is going to be something that you and I haven't talked about and had a discussion on, but I like to ask all the guests that come on about regulation here in the States. Do you have a take on regulation and what you think would be a good situation? Do you think we need regulation here in the United States when it comes to spray foam?
I think it would be a good idea. I think, yeah, I don't really know how to say it, but I think whoever you get your foam from should be held accountable if there was issues. I mean, in a way that they should be providing some type of, or not providing, but what's it say?
Regulating.
Confirming, that you have some type of experience or training before being able to buy foam. I don't know how you do that though.
Yeah.
Maybe
So do you think that a good place to start would be like, the SPFA certification or something of that nature?
I think that's super important. That's a great starting place. I want all my guys to be SPFA certified. Having these certifications really proves that you know what you're in my eyes, it proves that you know what you're talking about.
Yeah, at least it gives you a foundation to be starting off on the right foot.
And it gives me, gives me a peace of mind knowing that these guys actually took the time to pass these tests, and I didn't hold their hand through that. They did it with their own knowledge.
Yeah, very true. Are most of your guys pass through the SPFA certification?
Yep, all of them.
Wow. I mean, that, and also I feel like that speaks when you're out there, competing with these other spray foam contractors, and somebody says, "Hey, Danny, you're thousands of dollars more than Joe here. What separates you?" And you can go, "Well, my guys have all this certification. We're all certified, and guess what? I won the Contractor of the Year award here for Spray Foam Magazine." That also separates you as well. So like any kind of thing that you can get to show that you're the better choice, I think is important.
100% agree with you.
So regulation starts at, maybe we'll just say in an ideal world would be SPFA. And then after that, it sounds to me like you feel like the foam manufacturer would be the one that was checking to see if you actually had the credentials to purchase the foam.
Yeah, I mean, maybe continuing education credits need to be submitted. I don't know.
Yeah, it's kind of a controversial subject as well as a new subject. If you were able to catch the Tyler Cochran episode, he's up in Canada, and we chatted about this. And I mean, he feels like the Canadian program is successful. He feels like it actually needs to be a little bit more education than what they did, because it was very, very surface level, it seemed. But their manufacturers are the ones that are checking to make sure that you're able to buy the foam. And it sounds like the Canadian program is beneficial. Now, obviously, with regulation, you're still going to have some issues with foam, people spraying foam that shouldn't be. But it sounds to me like they've kind of got that under control up there. So, yeah, not sure what your take is, but it sounds like we're like kind of similar to like the Canadian program is what you're thinking.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know too much about what the Canadians are doing. I can't even go over there.
Oh, you can't. Like 5 minutes away on the ferry or whatever, can't even go over, huh?
No, ruined that in a past life.
I got you, man. I got you. Well, man, it's been a pleasure having you on, and just chatting and getting to know you better. And I'm sure there's a lot of people that know of Danny Walker from you winning the award, that haven't had an opportunity to connect with you. How like, what's the best way for somebody to reach out to you if they want to just connect and shoot the shit or get to know you a little bit better? What's the best way?
Yeah, always look me. You can look me up on my Facebook. My handle is Danny XX Walker. Or you can message me on my business page, Colony Insulation, or my other business page, Spray Foam by Danny Walker.
Love it. Any final thoughts, Danny, before we let you go?
No, I'm
No?
good.
I know this is outside your comfort zone, man. I can tell, but I truly appreciate you coming on to the Foam to Fortune podcast and just chatting and sharing sharing your story with everybody.
I appreciate being here. Thank you.
Thanks, man. Have a good rest of your night. I'll chat with you soon.
All right. Thanks.